your empathy might be making the tantrums even worse. That sounds wrong, but let me show you why it's not. I was always a bit confused about the terms negative reinforcement. It sounds like punishment. If you do something bad, I will do something bad to you. It will be a negative response to what you've done. But negative reinforcement is something else entirely. And today we're going to explain exactly what it is and how many of us parents who are in the gentle parenting or conscious parenting or want to be wise and loving do this and actually increase our children's bad behaviors. So put simply, what is negative reinforcement? Negative reinforcement is not a punishment. It's actually when we stop doing something because it helps a discomfort go away. Let me give you examples to make this really clear. If I go to the store with my child and my child keeps whining for candy, I want the whining to stop, so I buy them the candy. That is negative reinforcement. The whining increases next time because it got them what they wanted. I have now negatively reinforced that behavior to show them that it in fact works. It makes their discomfort go away. Here's another example. I'm speaking to my teen and they just shut down and withdraw in the conversation and stop responding. And so I back off to avoid conflict. My teen has now learned, there's been negative reinforcement, that withdrawal actually equals relief and escape from a conversation. So next time they're likely to withdraw even earlier from the conversation. It's been negatively reinforced. They've learned that the pain of the parent standing there and talking to them has gone away when they've withdrawn. Or maybe my 4-year-old refuses to get dressed, so I dress them. Now that they have learned that they should resist, because when they resist, they can avoid doing the task. Someone else will do it for them. So next time, they're going to resist even harder because what they've learned is that this strategy works. It's been negatively reinforced to refuse to get dressed because then I get what I want, which is I don't have to do it. Someone else does it for me. The core pattern is that the child does something unpleasant, and so the adult removes the pressure. And so the behavior gets stronger. The child learns to keep doing the unpleasant thing. Keep whining, keep withdrawing, keep refusing, because you'll get relief, you'll get what you want. The parent will stop pressuring you and expecting of you or saying no to you because you've done this negative thing. So notice that this is not the same as punishment. In none of these examples is the parent punishing the child. It's just the child learning what works. They see that when they behave badly, they actually get good results. When they whine, or when they lie, or when they withdraw, or when they're rude, the parent backs off. The parent just says yes. The parent gives in. And so their behavior is negatively reinforced. Here's the hard truth. Every time that you give in just to end the discomfort, you have just taught your child that whining or escalating is the correct strategy. It works, and that's how it gets reinforced. Let's imagine a vending machine for a moment. Say you put money in and nothing comes out. So you've done something positive and you didn't get the result that you wanted. So you push the button again and nothing happens. At some point, you start to push harder or to shake it. Eventually, you start kicking the machine. And you kick, and at one time, it actually works. Your snack comes out and you get the positive result that you were looking for. So your negative behavior got you a positive result ultimately. Now, what your brain has learned is to always shake a vending machine, to always kick it because it's eventually going to work. This is what intermittent reinforcement does. If we learn that once in a while our bad behaviors actually get us what we want, we are going to increase those bad behaviors. We're going to just run the numbers and do the strategy, and statistically, it's going to get us what we want eventually. So keep trying. Keep kicking, keep pushing, keep shoving that machine. Eventually, the snack is going to come out, right? That's what your experience has taught you. And that is why, as parents, our inconsistency is even worse than just caving every single time. If you hold firm 70% of the time, but you cave 30% of the time, that's even worse than just always caving. Because rather than your child learning that mom just never holds this boundary. She learns I should push hard against this boundary because eventually I'll be able to topple it. That makes the behavior almost impossible to extinguish. There's been some very extensive research and very old research that still holds true to this day about this. If you look at Skinner's behavioral research, he shows the variable ratio reinforcement. This is the most powerful schedule for actually maintaining a behavior. It's what happens when we are intermittently rewarded for something. So it doesn't work every time, but if you keep on the behavior enough times, eventually you'll win. Casinos run on this, and so do toddlers and teenagers. I know we've all been told to hold space and offer empathy during a meltdown, for example. But if your child is tantruming and what they get is more attention, we are essentially offering a reward. If our child is tantruming and we offer long explanations and validation and words and presence and touch, then we are engaging with them. And for children, engagement, presence, and attention is a reward. That is a reinforcement. And so if your child is ignored because they're playing nicely and doing nothing, but then as soon as they whine or scream or run a tantrum, you're right there with them and giving them all your attention, that becomes a very good strategy for getting your attention. It's not manipulation as such, but subconsciously, that's just what they're learning works. If you say no to something, but your child whines and negotiates and pushes back and manipulates you, and eventually you just give in, then they are learning that it's worth it to push hard, to push back, to negotiate, because eventually they'll hit the jackpot that they were waiting for. So here's the thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't be empathic. I'm not saying that you shouldn't engage in conversations with your child. But I am saying that if you don't want to reinforce a particular behavior, you'll have to stop being very engaged and rewarding it with your attention. What that means is you can be empathic and kind, but also boring at the same time. You can feel the feelings with them, you can share their disappointment, you can hear their negotiations, but the idea is not to feed the performance, not to agitate and encourage and actually reward this kind of whiny, pushback, or rude behavior. So what do we do instead? Say our child is negotiating with us endlessly. You can acknowledge once what they've said, and you can say something simple and boring like, "I hear you, the answer is still no." And then you offer strategic boredom. You'll notice this maybe when you're sleep training a child. You want them to stay in their bed, but every time they come out of their bed, they get a lot of attention. "Why are you out of your bed?" "No, come, we're going back to bed. Do you need a story? Do you need some water? Do you need a pee? Come on, I'm going to sit with, I'll stroke with you," right? You've just negatively reinforced the behavior because they see that getting out of bed gets so much good attention from you. Instead, you want to become super boring and just hold the line really consistently. Minimal eye contact, minimal words, calm presence. "Yes, I'm here." Get you more engagement and attention from me. That is true for any behavior that you want to extinguish. If you don't like whining, pushback, backtalk, withdrawal, negotiation, throwing things, tantruming, or getting out of bed at night, then you need to become really boring as you reinforce that boundary. Not reinforcing it with a lot of attention, because that will create a negative reinforcement that actually encourages more of the behavior in the future, the opposite of what you were going for. Then you need to wait it out. You need to become really boring. You just have a poker face on, you just have calm body language. Maybe you're busy with other things. Say your child has a tendency to really big aggressive tantrums. This is where you want to withdraw attention, not layer on more. They need to get the link out of their mind that wild, aggressive, threatening behavior gets them more attention from their parents. It needs to become the most boring thing ever. Not worth their while, not a helpful strategy, not pragmatic in their quest for your attention. You need to be just busy at that moment with something else. "Oh, I forgot, I need to cook now. I need to listen to my podcast. I'm on the phone. I'm unavailable." This type of behavior is not going to draw me in. It's not going to get you what you want. You'll never actually get the results you're looking for through this behavior. You need to wait it out. It takes a bit of time, but the storm passes, I promise. And sometimes faster than you may have expected. Kids are really smart and adaptive, and they see that this strategy isn't working anymore. They're going to shift gears. Now, they might escalate before they shift gears. They might become even more big in their emotions. Sometimes someone who feels unheard screams even louder, but then when they see this isn't the right strategy, they will eventually learn that this is not going to work, and then they're going to stop it. Instead, we want to layer on the attention to what does work. Oh, you got dressed the first time I asked? Wow, thank you so much. You're such a big boy. I'm so proud of you. This is great, right? You didn't whine for candy at the store. It was such a pleasure to take you to the store today. You didn't keep whining, and that is what we like to see. I would love for us to go and get ice cream together later on as a celebration, right? They get rewarded with positive attention and positive results and what they actually want for the good behaviors, not for the bad behaviors. Okay, you withdrew from a conversation with me. Well, then the conversation will be over for that moment, but you will not be able to avoid the conversation forever. And we will come back, I will have it, and this time we'll also have to talk about your withdrawal. So there was no positive reward for withdrawing from a conversation. In fact, it actually increased your need to have a conversation that was uncomfortable for you. We want to give them a positive result and positive attention for positive behavior, and no attention and no reward for bad behavior. Now, the only cure if you have been negatively reinforcing a behavior is consistency. Just like Skinner's research with rats, but also just like your personal experience in your life, if you see that something sometimes works, then we as humans are just going to keep trying that thing because it's a strategy that's worked for us in the past. And that's why consistency is the only cure. Every time you cave to the bad behavior, you're actually telling them to try it again in the future. You're telling them this works. It's a deposit into the try it again bank. And you don't want to make those deposits. You want to deplete that account so that they say, this account is empty, there's nothing here, it doesn't work, I shouldn't try it again because I'm just wasting my energy. I should try something else. I should try the things that are leading to positive attention instead. And you might be saying, this sounds kind of harsh and cold. I'm going to be boring. I'm going to be withdrawn. I'm going to be unmoved. I'm not going to give it attention. I'm going to be disengaged when my child is tantruming or whining or yelling or threatening. Yes, you're going to be completely disengaged and boring then. It's going to feel hard because as parents, we want to respond to our child. We're actually built, our survival mechanism is that we're responsive to them, but we don't want to be responsive to the bad behaviors. That's when we become really boring. Just a short correction, a quick sentence, I'll see you when you calm down. We can talk about this when you can say it respectfully. I'm not engaging while you're whining. And then you withdraw the attention, but you bring it back for repair. Repair and connect after. When they've stopped that strategy, the moment they ask nicely, the moment they stop whining, the moment they stop screaming, the moment they calm down, the moment they do a good thing, like fine, I'll go and get my clothes, are somehow cooperative, is the moment that you come in full force with your attention. That's when you really show them that you want to reinforce this behavior, not during the bad behavior, but after it is over. All right, I hope that this strategy has been helpful for you as it is for me. I sometimes just want the thing to go away, so I just cave. But that always bites me in the butt later as my children learn that this is a winning strategy. We're going to break that right now. We're going to do a reset. And speaking of reset, I am running the 5-day free family reset challenge where you are going to learn how to create rules for your family. Yes, you need clarity. We need rules. I know we're modern parents. We're loving. We're touchy-feely. We're social and emotional. We're friends with our kids. Sure. But vague rules and lack of clarity is why we fall into negative reinforcement in the first place. We just want it to go away, but we don't have a rule to withhold, to fall back on, to be clear about. Clarity is what breeds consistency. When you're clear on what you expect, you can be consistent with it. And consistent, clear, values-based rules is what actually helps our children to behave properly in the way that we most want them to. So go to highfam.com/reset or just click the link in the description below and join. It is completely free. I've created a beautiful PDF guide that I would like to send your way and some juicy emails. So make sure to sign up for it and share it with a friend, because this is what is going to help you build a strong family culture. Keep on living that high fam life. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, leave a thumbs up and a comment below to help me with the algorithm and also to tell me what you enjoyed and what you want more of. If you have questions, I will do my very best to answer them in a future episode, so make sure to leave them as well. Keep on living that high fam life. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.